But yeah, thanks for doing it again. Like I appreciate you taking the time. Like,
Of course, of course. It's the least I can do. I love chatting with as many people as I can. It's really a beautiful thing.
see, this is what I'm enjoying about as well. So I'm chatting to people that I never have spoke to in my life. Like,
Uh-huh.
especially because seem to be getting a lot of people from America chatting to me, and I love it. It's great.
Yes.
It's good. It's good chatting. Like we might never meet, but at least we've had a conversation, and I love that. It's great.
Yes. Yeah,
So,
I love that. I really do.
so I read that you started like singing in gospel choirs and things, or choirs. Like,
Uh-huh. So
you,
I started, my sisters and I actually started together. We grew up, we're pastors' grandchildren. So we grew up in the church environment all the time, and both of our parents were musicians. So they would take us to various choir rehearsals when we were kids. They didn't realize that we were picking up on the harmonies from the rehearsals until one day we all came home, and then my sisters and I went into our I went into my sister's room and we just started re-rehearsing the songs that we heard the choir sing during
yeah.
the rehearsal. And then our parents heard us downstairs and they thought we were playing the radio. And so they came upstairs and they peered their ear to the door and they realized that we were the ones that were singing and there was no radio playing at all. And the rest was really history after that.
That's brilliant. Did that sort of shape your love of harmonies and stuff then?
It did. Out of the choir definitely did. The gospel music that my parents played for my sisters and I when we were kids definitely did. All of that influenced my love for just background vocals and stacking and finding the harmonies like a video game when I'm making music.
Ah, that's ace. Like, so seeing that you've mentioned sort of Beyonce and Pharrell as like sort of influence and Jasmine Sullivan.
Yes.
What is it about the artistry that resonates with you?
So I think that there are different characteristics from those artists that really inspire me a lot. I love Beyonce because she's really, really great at world building. It's more than just music, it's an experience. Like there's a visual component. When you listen to the music that she makes, you feel like you're transported into the world that is Beyonce. And I love that she is the moniker for me in the same way that many people kind of felt like Michael Jackson's artistry did for them. Like Michael Jackson was very otherworldly as well. I feel like Beyonce took a lot of cues from the way Michael Jackson crafted his musical
Oh,
experience and what
100%.
she makes as well. And then like for Pharrell is just like an out of the box thinker when it comes down to his production and the songs that he writes for himself as well as other individuals. Like he is so uniquely himself that he almost it's almost like everything he touches turns to gold because he's so authentic to who he is as a person. And then Jasmine Sullivan is just she and Brandy I have as my two like vocal Bibles. Like if you ever want to really learn how to run and sing, and if you are not familiar with like the Karen Clark Sheards and the Kim Burrells, and you're a little bit of a younger generation than even myself, Jasmine Sullivan is the person that I would definitely lean towards in order to try and like sharpen my ear and my vocal ability. Um and like take it to the next level because her and Brandy like they just sit on this hill of vocal excellence and they really are the moniker for that, for vocal ability in that way for me.
Do you know, I was actually just listening to your music there, like having just a little listen through while I was waiting. And now
Mhm.
when you mentioned Michael Jackson, I actually thought when I heard one of your songs that there was a bit of a Michael Jackson sort of sound in there. Like, so there's obviously a bit of influence from Michael Jackson in there as well, isn't there?
Yes, he and I share the same birthday. We do,
Oh
August
dear.
29th. Yes.
He's probably my favorite of all time, Michael Jackson. Like I love Michael
Yes.
Jackson. He's definitely up
Yes, he's legendary, a legendary. Definitely one of my favorite artists, definitely a huge inspiration of mine. And
there.
so many others, so many.
Yeah. When was it
Yes.
you realized that music was like this is where you were going, this is what you wanted to do?
You know, I had been singing with my sisters for years. Like when we started singing, we sung together. Um and that was when we were little kids. We put out multiple albums. And I think when I got when I started having experience that were individual, was in college. So we all went to different places to go to college. And of course, going to different places results in us experiencing different things. And there were glimpses of that kind of in my grade school journey. Like we spent a lot of time together, but there would be moments where we would break off and write our own individual songs, based off of the experiences that we were living, even in grade school. And that sort of intensified once I graduated from high school and went to college. And I think that is where the music that I was able to, um, sort of digest in college, whether that be through what my friends were listening to, or the a cappella group that I was in, or just like the music of my generation as we were coming up in college, really shaped, my individual journey. And then you pair that with individual experiences, and you have something to sing about. You got something to write about. That's really true to who you are as an individual. So I'd say like the ingredients were always there, but my transition from high school to college was that kind of the catalyst that kind of sparked that.
That was the moment. Have you had your sisters involved in any of your songs yet, or do you think you'll do some
So
in the future?
that is something that I have definitely thought about. I know, like, I've been taking some time to kind of find my individual sound and my individual like brand, but I never shy away from singing with my sisters.
I feel like you owe it to them to get them on a song.
Yes. Oh yeah, definitely. Like I say this all the time. My sisters can sing way better than I can. Their ear and their vocal ability is something, the way that they process music and the way that they write and the way that they sing is something that is has always been inspiring to me. So I'm always looking for the right opportunity to kind of bring them into even what I do as an individual as well.
Are they involved in music as well, or?
Yes. So my sister Sierra, who is the second oldest, she graduated from Peabody in Baltimore with her master's, I think, in theater. And so she's auditioning for Broadway plays, and she's
Oh,
really looking
really?
to get her foot in the door there. So if anybody out there is listening and has a connect for her, please let me know because I would
Get on
definitely
for a
relay that
chat
information
because
to them.
it'd be good to speak
Yes,
to someone that does like Broadway because I
exactly,
want to try and chat to
exactly.
as many different people as possible. So
Yeah,
it'd be
yes.
good to speak to her.
Yes, exactly. And then my youngest sister, also she majored in cello. So both my sisters play string instruments. My oldest sister plays violin. My youngest sister played the cello. Um, my youngest sister carried that with her into college. And she also like I want to say she majored in it wasn't nursing, but it was something that was more STEM oriented. But even through all of that, she was writing her own songs. She's working on her own
Oh, so
music now.
everybody's going for the music then.
Yeah.
Cool, man. That's it.
Exactly.
I read
Exactly.
that you sort of write, produce, mix, and master your own music as well.
Yeah, a little less so now than I did when I originally started, but when I started working on my music on my own for the first time, that's what I would do. I would write the original for the original songs, I would write the lyrics, and then once I got all the lyrics down, I would go into the booth and kind of actually before that I would lay the instrumentation out like on a DAW. Like I usually use Reason. Reason is my DAW of choice. So once I got the lyrics down, I'd lay the instrumentation, then I'd take that instrumentation, put it into Logic, and then sing over the instrumentation in Logic. And then from Logic, I do all of the vocal tuning and mixing and mastering from there. I
There's a
do
lot
do
to
less
it.
of that now. Like I'm nowhere near a professional at all. I let kind of let now that I've got a little bit of money in my pocket, I can outsource that to the professionals who mix and master and do all of that. But I am glad that I took the first step to do that on my own because I learned so much about the music
Well,
making
yeah, it's a good
process.
education, ain't it, when you do
Yeah, it
things
was
like that?
great education. Wonderful. And I even now I'll still go back. Like when I want to feel like the most uninhibited when it comes down to writing and when I want to do writing by myself, sometimes I'll go back to that moment and just start from scratch on my own and do all of the instrument layering and the vocal layering so I can get my like authentic voice out on wax.
Like, do you think it's more rewarding when you do it all yourself, or do you
You
like it when
know,
somebody else does it all for you?
that's a great question. I think I see the benefits of both. Like I there was a point where writing by myself did feel kind of lonely, and I became a little more open after a couple years of doing that to writing with other people. And I do think that it's important to collab when you can because there are things that you contribute, but then we all have individual gifts and experiences and perspectives that really can contribute to how a song comes together. So I do think songwriters should experience collaboration, healthy collaboration when they can. But I do also enjoy when it is just me
Yeah.
writing as well. I think that there are benefits to both in a lot of ways.
Like working with Dana Sori.
Oh
Did you
yeah,
see
Dana Saray, yeah.
Sori? Is that it? She's like
Yep,
Grammy
that's
nominated.
Yep, he's Grammy nominated. He's a gospel music producer. So, in that world, there are Stellar Awards and Dove Awards, and so he's been nominated, and has won, a bunch of those awards as well. He also, was a part of this very, very. If you are familiar with gospel music,
I'm
even
not
like in
gospel
the
music.
UK, there's this group, Ty Tribbett and GA, and Soundcheck. He was a part of the band Soundcheck, and was very instrumental in a lot of the early development of the musicality that went along with the sound that was Ty Tribbett and GA. So like he he is always telling me about the messages that he gets from random people around the world about how much they love Soundcheck, and they're like, "Oh, I found you online. I saw you in a video on YouTube, and you were playing." The keys behind like one of my favorite Ty Tribbett songs. Like, I just want to say you're such a huge inspiration. And yeah, he gets that a lot. And he's very grateful. He's very humble. He's the best outside of my sisters. He's the best collaborator I could have ever asked for when it comes down to writing and when it comes down to producing music. I've grown so much just from watching him do what he does. I don't even when I'm with him, sometimes I'm not even writing with him. Sometimes I'm just watching him like conduct his business, because he's got several businesses and things of that nature. Seeing the way that he navigates the music industry is something that I'm very, very grateful to witness
Wow, that's
in my
great.
lifetime.
How
Yes.
did it even come about, like working with him?
So he is a family friend, actually. He knew my dad, him and my dad, who's a drummer, kind of came up together when they were young, just hitting different music scenes or different church music scenes in the New Jersey, Philly, DC area. And their love for music kind of brought them in the same circles with one another. So he always knew my dad. And then one day, I think he heard my sisters and I sing at like, I think it was a funeral that we had to sing at, my great grandmother's funeral. And he was starting to really get into the production bag himself. And he brought up the idea to my dad of producing my sisters and I our first record, our first album together. And that was really our introduction to like his production style and his songwriting style. Like we were writing songs, I want to say like right before then, but he was the one who really encouraged us to really hunker down and start writing, really focus on writing our own material, because he saw value not just monetarily but also like creatively in you being able to express your own voice with the words that you chose to write for yourself.
Oh, it's cool. What
Yeah.
is there anything about sort of your journey that people might be surprised to hear?
Surprised. Wow, that's a good question too.
Yeah.
So, I think people would be surprised in my music tastes, I'd say. So like I grew up watching a lot of Disney Channel back in like the early 2000s. So there weren't a lot of there was a lot of rock in general, like early 2000s, like late 90s into the early 2000s. Rock was kind of really heavy on the scene, and that even permeated into the music that I heard from like Ali and AJ and the Jonas Brothers. And oh gosh, there's so many more artists that in this moment I'm blanking, but
Yeah, put
rock
you
was
on the spot.
definitely, yes. Rock was definitely a heavy influence back in the day for me. Just the melody, and even now, like I'm young, so I missed the period where like even like Oasis which is a band that I've grown in the past like year and a half. I've grown to love Oasis very
Yeah.
much, and I know that they're making a comeback. They're doing their
Yeah,
reunion
we're going to
tour.
see them in September.
You are? Oh,
Yeah,
where are you going to see them?
at Wembley in London.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah.
yes. So I know they're coming to New Jersey on this side in August. So I may sneak my way into
Yeah, you've got
the
to. They've
stadium.
looked really good from the videos I've seen, and they
Exactly.
look like
Yep.
they're sort of back to their best.
Yes, exactly. So I say all of that to say, my music tastes are very versatile, like classical, even opera. Like I listen to a lot, and I think that that has helped train my ear, and even my songwriting skills, to be as all-encompassing as I can be, even with the music that I make.
Ah, quality. Do you have any advice for sort of people that are trying to get started in music or sort of like for an independent artist? Like, because you're doing okay now. You seem to be
Mhm.
pushing to that next stage. So, like, if you had any advice for somebody try to make it.
Yeah, I would say believe in yourself. I think the first rule is starting there because if you don't believe in yourself, then it's going to be hard for other people to believe in you as well. And it's not, oh, I know it's not narcissistic or selfish to believe in yourself. I think when people hear that phrase, they associate negative connotations to it. But believing in yourself, I think of it as a way of like encouraging yourself to do what you know in your heart you were meant to do. And if you believe in your heart that you were meant to be an artist, you are meant to be a songwriter. Don't let the obstacles stop you or deter you or make you feel like you don't belong, because it's up to you to decide whether you belong or not.
Yeah,
I'll
definitely.
think about bands like Oasis. Oasis, there would never ever be a time where anyone would have ever told Oasis that they don't belong on the biggest stage on the planet. That's just the aura that they carried, that they had when they entered the scene, and you can see the fruits of their labor now, like stadiums, sold out stadiums around the world of people wanting to hear music that was put out maybe 15 to 20 years ago. Like it's really a testament to the confidence that they had in
Yeah.
themselves. So I
Yeah,
say start.
everybody knows an Oasis song, don't they?
Exactly. Everyone knows at least one Oasis song. And I think
Yeah.
that that confidence is key, especially when you're starting out and you feel like maybe the people around you are kind of like, yeah, you just want to do this music thing, but it's not going to last long. All these discouraging thoughts. I think that confidence can really help you soar in a lot of ways.
Yeah. Can you remember the first song that sort of you connected with?
Yes, actually. So I remember, I'll give you the first song that I ever sung by myself. It was a elementary school talent show. And like I said, I grew up watching a lot of Disney Channel. There was this song called Rush by Ali and AJ that I loved so, so much. I loved it so much that even at the age of like 8 or 9, I said I have to perform this song a talent show. I don't know where like that confidence, like I was talking about, that confidence just like spewed out of me when I heard that song. And that was the very first song that I sung by myself, independent of like my sisters and the choir music that I heard growing up. And I'll never forget that day and what that day meant to me as a musician and as a singer. And so, Ali and AJ, if you're listening, I owe so much of who I am as a musician today because of the songs that you put out and that they played on Disney Channel. So thank you guys so much.
I love that confidence though. I'd love to have that sort of confidence when it comes to things like singing and stuff. I'm a terrible singer anyway, but if I had that, I think I'd love to just get up and perform. Like it'd be great.
Yeah, I think it's not as scary as you imagine it to be. I think we psych ourselves out a lot in our heads, especially me. I know I do that a lot. But once you get on there and you experience like the freedom of seeing the people interact with you and being on the stage and singing these songs to these people, it really is a surreal moment.
Yeah, I think I'll just stick to drunk karaoke. That's my level. I did karaoke the other week and did Changes by David Bowie.
You did?
Easily the worst version of the Changes you would have ever heard. I was that drunk I couldn't remember remember any words. It was a disaster.
But I'm sure you had the best time. I'm sure it was
In my head,
fantastic.
I was brilliant.
And that's all that matters.
Exactly.
Yes.
Who'd be the dream collaboration for you?
Man, so definitely Beyonce. Beyonce is probably my favorite artist of all time. If I could collab with Kendrick Lamar as well,
Kendrick, yeah, I
I'm a
love
huge
Kendrick
Kendrick
Lamar.
fan. Huge. I remember being in college, and my friend had put me on to him, and I was completely blown away, by just like his artistry and to see how it's evolved over the years. I'd love to work with Kendrick. Steve Lacy, Victoria Monet. There's so many people that I just
Yeah.
would love. Oasis, if Oasis is
Yeah,
looking for
I want to
somebody,
see the Oasis collaboration.
yes, I'd love it. I'd love it so much. I would.
So what's next for you then? Have you got maybe another album tour?
Yep. So I'm always working on new music. I'm working on an album. So Smile is a single from the project that's out now. And I'm working on finishing up the
Great song
remaining
that, by the way.
songs.
It's a great
Thank
song.
you.
I
Thank you
like
so
the
much. I'm
Sure thing as well. I was listening to Sure thing when I
oh
was with it.
yes.
It's a great song that is. I love
Thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yes. I'm very, very excited for what's gonna be coming. So definitely album and definitely touring. I definitely want to make it over to London, do some
that.
shows
If you get over here,
over
let
in
me know
London.
because I come see you.
I will. I definitely will. It's been a dream of mine to sing over there for you
Yeah, that'd be
guys. And
great.
that is definitely the next tier for performances for me that I'm
Brilliant.
aiming to accomplish.
Quality. Well, that's it really. That was like really the gist of it. Just a little bit about yourself and your music and stuff.
Love it, man. This was wonderful. I
Yeah, I've
really
enjoyed it. It's
enjoyed
been great.
chatting
It's been
with
good
you.
chatting to you. You've got a good vibe. Like
Yes.
I like it.
Thank you. You too. I love your vibe too. And yes, whenever I'm in the UK, I'll definitely make sure to give you a ring and maybe we could just
100%,
hang out.
100%.
Yeah.